My name is John Guccione. I am a rising 3L at Brooklyn Law School.
What are your career goals?
Other than just getting a job, I have an interest in transactional law, including real estate and trust and estates, among entertainment and some other fields.
And do you believe that you got the experience that you wanted out of this internship?
Absolutely. I had a fantastic experience. I wanted to get some insight into the world of transactional real estate law and was fortunate enough to have received a very complete, hands-on, practical experience actually doing, the kind of everyday work that I see the attorneys that I was working for doing.
And can you tell us a little bit more about your specific role at Adam Layton Bailey PC?
Sure. I was working again with the transactional side of the firm, which is a smaller part of the law firm, but I was working primarily for one attorney and her paralegal. The majority of my time was spent doing administrative work such as filing UCC documents, requesting agreements such as CIMAs, copies of lien searches and title reports, and about 3 to 4 times a week, sometimes 5 days a week, I would have at least one closing that I would attend as a settlement agent for either a real property or co-op closing.
What practice area did you get exposed to while working at Adam Layton Bailey PC?
I worked primarily for an attorney who did bank closings. She was the lender's attorney working for a variety of different banks. So I was working primarily with her.
Can you tell us a little bit about what your experience was like while working here, maybe on a personal level, or certain things that you believe that you gained from it?
Sure. I had a great experience. I've worked at a variety of other firms where the kind of experience you got was primarily legal research or something where you were sort of disconnected from the actual lawyer's work that you were doing. That wasn't the case here. I was doing the exact type of work that the attorneys were doing. I was going to closings by myself, representing the lenders, and got a great experience doing really hands-on administrative work in addition to legal work where I learned a great deal about the process, the documentation involved, and more.
And did the firm help you prepare for the tasks that you performed while you were here?
Absolutely, and I think the firm also did a very good job of sort of mixing in a little bit of throw you into the deep end and see if you can swim. I was given great instruction and guidance where I requested it. If I had any questions, the attorneys and the paralegals were more than happy to take their time to explain things to me. But at the same time, I was also, given a good enough amount of responsibility where I was able to really get a good immersive experience.
And which of these tasks do you think you enjoyed the most?
Hands down, going to closings. It was a fantastic experience to not only get to see the end results of all the files that I've been working on, but to get to meet the various parties involved, from the buyers and sellers and their attorneys to title closers and members of co-op corporations, as well as brokers and payoff bank attorneys and more, and just to sort of be a part of that process, which is a happy process where someone is selling a home and someone else is buying one.
And can you tell us what your most memorable moment at Adam Layton Bailey PC was?
It's tough. I had a lot of good memories here. The people I worked with were absolutely fantastic. I think, though, what would stand out for me is the first closing I ever went to, just because it was a little hectic. The firm has a lot of work, and so I was asked to go to the Empire State Building on the, I believe it was like the 55th floor, and, asked to do a closing with sort of a very basic understanding of what was going on and the documents involved and what was happening. But I was able to get through it, and thankfully I had good instruction from the paralegal and the attorney that I was working with. And I, even though I was a little stressed out on the inside, I was able to get everything I needed from the closing, and everything went successfully.
And is there one key thing that you could say that you specifically learned at Adam Layton Bailey?
One key thing, that's tough. I learned a lot. I hadn't taken a real estate course in law school. I had no prior experience in real estate, and I learned a ton about what goes into the entire process of buying a home, getting financing and funding from a bank, the sort of documentation needed by the bank in order to close on the files, and more, and really learned a great deal about the entire process.
And do you have any comments for future legal associates or about working here in general?
just that, again, I had a fantastic experience. Everyone here is really great, and I learned a great deal. This was not sort of a ivory tower type of summer associateship where, you know, I did legal research and didn't really get a taste of real attorney's work. I felt like I was doing something important at all times that was helping the firm and helping the attorneys, and I had a great time.
Thank you, John.